happening for the second time. Yes, I'm making a second video, and the beginning of it is for Joni G, who makes an excellent point. No, I have not discussed my Medicaid, Medicare strategy. And you have to understand, when dealing with the government, it is a game. And you do need strategic moves to play that game, and you need to know the rules. Read everything you can. When you first get on and they send you a little pamphlet, read it through and through. If you didn't get that pamphlet, you go online and for your state, look up Medicaid rules for Georgia, New York, etc. All states vary a little bit. How am I going to work this out? I only make $883 a month right now. So I have to have a strategic exit plan and a strategic re-entry plan. This is what I know about Medicaid, Medicare, and this is how I plan to do my strategy, my personal strategy. Now, I'm waiting on a letter of disability. That's my big hope, that they will give it to me. Don't know that I can get it. You can't even get on the phone with them at this point. There's just so many people trying to get, keep, or find a way to get back on Medicaid rolls. I understand the fears, especially if you have pre-existing conditions. It's a scary thing. Now, I wanted to wait for Medicare to get that operation in my right leg. But I don't know. It has not been bothering me, even without meds. It's the left hip now that's bothering me. But, you know, I'm trying to lose weight and it's not going well. I'm keeping off what I've lost, but I can't seem to get below a certain number. It just isn't happening. I need to starve myself and I don't want to go hungry. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Medicaid, Medicare. Right. But part of my strategy is trying to get healthier so I don't need them as much. And try to get the weight off of my hips. Very important. So that's the biggest strategy. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to get money for my trailer. I'm going to get money for my car. I'm going to have way over the allowance for food stamps. I am going to close my welfare case as soon as I have the checks in hand and put them into a bank. I'm going to close my case. The reason why I have not accepted those checks yet and have said, hold off, I've got my buyers. I got my buyer on the trail, I got my buyer on the car. They're in, okay? I just do not have the money yet. That's okay. So once I do have the money, that's when I have 10 days to report. And instead of reporting, I'm going to click on my Access Health website because I have my little case and my password. You get in there and you can maneuver whatever you have to through the website. I'm going to press Close Case. That's it. I'm done. No Medicaid, no food stamps. Oh my God, what are you going to do? Pray for the best is what I'm going to do. Now wait. This is probably going to happen somewhere around August 1st, okay? That leaves me till March of next year. Now it'll be 3 months before my birthday that they actually start processing me for Medicare. A lot can happen within, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. A lot can happen in 8 months. I am not on long-term Medicaid. I do not qualify for long-term Medicaid, and I would not ask for that. And do you know why? Because they want to know within the last 5 years what assets you had. So what if I delay that for 5 years? Right now, I don't need assistance or help. I can hobble around on my own. So, in March, they start the process 3 months before your birthday. That's next year. At that time, And it's probably gonna, numbers are probably gonna change by a few $100s, but for right now, you can own $8,700 in cash assets, any assets, to qualify for QMB. It's a qualified medical benefit or something like that. And what it is a form of welfare. And as long as I don't have over $8,700 at that time, I'm all set. This is where my buy gold coin strategy comes in. Gold coin is not a financial instrument. It will then be considered a personal item, and you're allowed to have personal items. You've got to understand the rules. You've got to understand the rules to play the game right. Why isn't gold coin a financial instrument? I cannot take a $20 gold coin, which is going to be worth about $1,900, though I haven't looked at the price of gold today. Let's just say $1,900 for a gold ounce, pure gold ounce, $9.99. And I go to Walmart and I buy $500 worth of goods and I hand them a gold coin. They're going to say, "What's this?" "Oh, well, it's a gold coin. It's worth $1,900. I'd like my change." Call the manager. Manager comes over. "We don't accept this as payment." Why? Because it's not a financial instrument. That's why. It isn't an American coin, Federal Reserve. It's not a greenback dollar, Federal Reserve. It's not a credit card. It's not a money order. It's not anything that you can transfer immediately into cash. You have to take the gold coin. You've got to go to a dealer. He tells you what he's paying for that day, and then he gives you the cash on that dollar. $20 piece, whatever, the gold coin is at the time. So having a strategy is very, very important when you're dealing with this. Now, I can own a property. Perhaps I will find a property and I will purchase that and call it home. Put a shack on it and say, "This is my house." It's about $2,000 for a small mini shed. Whatever I have to do, or buy a nice little fifth wheel, put that on there, be like a luxury condo. Yeah, it doesn't have to be hooked up to water and sewer, especially if you go in an area with no restrictions to buy your land, and that is my intent. So I'm going to take the money from this place, and that's going into gold coin. Then I'm going to take the money for my car, and that's going to go into a new vehicle, a different vehicle, and I will try to have leftover emergency funds. I'm hoping about $10,000, but I got to make sure it's down to whatever the allowance will be for 2023 by the time I get to March. Then I can reapply for Medicaid in whatever state I happen to live in at that time. So Joni G, that is my strategy for how I'm going to do this whole thing. So, you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, you'll have no medical." I know. But, there's urgent cares everywhere. And quite frankly, the people that I see right now, they have a sliding fee scale. I will apply for that. And my expense will be about $45 for a visit. And my meds come to about, $7, $8 a med. What is that? Under $20 for that. I'll be okay there. And yes, I am going to use food pantries and anything else shamelessly, because I need it. Even though society says, "Oh, you can't have more than this to be considered poor." Well, here's the thing. You're still poor. You spend all that money and you're as poor as you were before you had that money. So, or while you had that money. Just because you have, say, $10,000 in reserve or something like that, excuse me, doesn't mean you're home free. Doesn't mean you can't buy a house with $20,000. Maybe in the future. It might not be much of a house, but still would be a house, right? So that's my strategy. I'm going to try to find something before March of next year to buy. If it's not the bargain I want, I will make sure that I've spent down to the 8,700, or it might be 9,000 by that point, that I can have and still qualify for QMB. I won't qualify for Medicaid, but QMB covers that $179 a month, and it might be a little more next year, that Medicare takes for, what is it, Part B. Part A is usually free, and I will be falling under my husband's because I was a homemaker, I was his assistant, and I never claimed anything for myself, except for when I worked a job like Burger King or clothing store or whatever. So I don't have a lot built up, so I will never be receiving my retirement benefit. It is way low, way low. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. That covers the Medicare, Medicaid thing, and, you know, I'll just open up a new case when I'm at whatever the threshold of finance is for Medicaid later in my life, when I've spent down, because, you know, whatever I buy for property, and I do want a property, no matter what, whether I travel, don't travel, I want a little property there with very low taxes, so I can just close it all up and only have to worry about the taxes each month and nothing else. And yeah, so that's pretty much my aging strategy and my coming into Medicare strategy. That pretty much does it. Okay, there's some other questions under this last video, the previous one, that I want to answer as well. I'll be right back. Bonnie Dunbar, renting a room for a year. Yes, that's a possibility, and that is one of my strategies for survival. If I cannot find the van that I want, that I feel is an excellent deal and in good working order, finding a room to rent will be my next strategy. I'm not sure if it'll be here in Florida, or it might have to be out of state, depending on price and availability at that time. So, yeah, I have to figure it out and figure out what I'm going to do. But as I've said before, I am completely open for God, the universe, the powers that be, to direct me in the right direction for me. Whether that's going to be a room to rent, a van to sleep in, a minivan to sleep in, a station wagon, I don't know. Would it be just tenting and camping in one spot that's like close to a lot of amenities so I could walk or Uber? I don't know yet. I am leaving myself completely open to whatever comes my way first. Or not necessarily first. It depends whether it's workable. It has to be workable. And yeah, I would not mind at all waiting a year or two as prices start to collapse. I'm going to get a much better deal on a van. I'm going to get a much better deal on property as we progress into the next recession, which we clearly are going into. All the signposts are there already. And my number one signpost is when Maine and West Virginia start losing ground. They're always the first to lose ground on real estate. And all these 7,000 under, 10,000 under, 3,000 under are popping up. All of a sudden, you can find properties for prices you couldn't find a year ago. So I know where we're at just by following that. The other thing that always shows me you're going into recession is the price of gold. And it is like a little wacky right now, but it's hit over 2,000 in the past year. And it's inching closer to 2,000. I'm hoping it's going to drop in September. That's my strategy of when I would like to buy gold coin, is in September. And it usually drops considerably before the 15th of September. And I'm hoping to get in as low as I can and then ride it to the top. And at that point, I will sell and hopefully have found my property. So we'll see how that goes. Am I right? We're going to find out. Okay, so that's Bonnie. Rapture prepping. I hear you. I was a serious Bible student, and I studied all the prophecy books, Isaiah, Hosea, Jude, Revelations, of course, Matthew, the whole 9 yards, okay? And here's the thing. Jesus said, "Fear not, I have overcome the world." When our people wandered the wilderness in Egypt, being taken to their promised land, God provided. Manna fell from heaven. Consider the little sparrows that you can buy 2 for a penny. And yet God knows every feather on every little bird. How much more does he care for you? I'm not prepping. No. Been there, done that. And is it possible we'll go into World War III? Sure. I mean, it's a possibility. War is always a possibility. Am I afraid? Heck no. Am I going to prepare for it? Not really. I used to think the story of the 10 virgins was, God saying, be prepared, And while to some extent you always should have some preparedness for life's events, just hurricane season here, you got to have water put up, which I don't right now. I can't get to the store. I can't really lift, and everybody's so busy right now in my family, they can't really help me. But I do the best I can. You got to hope for the best, prepare as you can, and if you can't, don't be afraid. God's got your back. If you really believe that there's a God and that he knows every leaf on every tree, every petal on every flower, and every feather on every bird, he most certainly knows you're there, and he's not going to let you down. So, that's my thinking on that. And yes, life's getting very, very expensive, and I don't know if, I don't know about anything else. Let's see. I know there were more comments. Where are they? I'm using my laptop to find my comments. Oh, for the love of Pete. Oh, here they are. Sorry. Let me pause this for a minute. Blue Rose Ramblings. Yes, I love it too that everybody shares their experience, their hope, and their strength, the things that are going on in their lives. This is what community is all about, and this is how we help each other. And as I commented about that, we're all trying to live better. We all want a better life. And there's nothing wrong with striving for that. So I love it when you all interact and you all answer each other and propose things to each other. You're helping your brothers and sisters out there in this world. And that's why I love this community too. It's awesome. It helps me and it helps others. And I just feel like, wow, I started something and it's taken off on its own. And that's a beautiful thing, and that's why I'm just going to keep doing it. It doesn't matter whether I make it as a YouTuber. It's more whether you make it as a human being struggling in this world. And if you're not struggling, kudos to you. I would rather have your life of no struggle than a life of struggling, so that's good. But you're still here anyway because you care about others, and you want to see them overcome. And I think that's really what this channel is really all about, is facing those challenges, facing them with fear, but not to the point of being immobilized by fear. We bravely move forward. We forge our path in this world. And with gratefulness, I'm still here. I have another day. Lord willing, I have another day to keep on fighting. and make my way and make for a better day for me, hopefully for my family, and for all my friends out there in YouTube land. Whoa, thunder. We've been having some serious storms. Here comes hurricane season. Huzzah! Along with hurricanes come tornadoes. Oh, fun. I won't be spending another one of those seasons down here. No. Priscilla Fuentes, you are so dear. Yeah, I wish I was making more than $8.83 a month too, but hey, I've got $55 sitting in my AdSense. When I hit 100, then they'll let me have it. It does roll over. I read up on that, so, you know. It's been 28 days minus 2 because I delayed getting AdSense started when I was first approved. So in 26 days, I've made $55. Groovy. It's okay that I don't make more than $8.83. Look, I'm going to be all right. And like I said, I do have stuff that I could buy, sell, or trade. Well, not buy, but I could sell and trade for, you know, whatever I need. Might have to take some to antique shows, talk to some dealers, maybe talk to local dealers. I got stuff to sell, and I really do need to start working on that. More thunder. Well, that's it for questions. So, strategies for Medicaid, Medicare. When you're on regular Medicaid, or you're going to go back onto regular Medicaid, they will look back for a 3-month period. I'm going to have at least, 7-8 months after I close my case, and I won't have to account for anything because I'm going to close that case first, going to accept my money, going to do what I have to do, going to spend it down to $8,700 for March of next year, and I'll be ready to reapply for Medicaid. I don't know if I can have Medicaid. It changes as your age goes up. I'm not sure that I can get the full Medicaid, but I know I can get the QMB if I even have any money left. That's going to be the biggie, because if I find a property, you know, it's going to need some things. I'm going to need furniture because I'm selling all mine. Yeah, so there's that. And I'm spoiled, and I will want new. I will want a high-quality mattress because I have to have that. That's a necessity and not a want because of my back. It's got to be just right, or I don't sleep, and if I don't sleep, I shall lose my mind. And furniture, yeah, I need a very supportive anything. Good quality seating is going to be very important to my back health, and a recliner is very important because sometimes the pressure from my degenerative disc disease is so bad I've got to recline to get that weight off of it. And good idea to exercise and try to strengthen things back up again. I've not been very faithful in that, and I'm just not watching my food as well as I should. There's no treats in here at all, but you know, like eggs and toast is probably not what I should be eating, but I did. I love eggs and toast. Sometimes I just want oatmeal, so you know. Or sometimes I just want fruit, cottage cheese, stuff like that. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Will I be okay on $8.83 and no food stamps? Yeah, I'll be all right. I'll utilize the food pantries. I will eat the highest quality, lowest cost protein I can, and try to eat fresh fruit and vegetables if it's affordable, and if it's not, I'll have to revert to canned or whatever I get the most weight for my dollar. And that's pretty much it. Net ounces. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for being concerned about me. Thank you for your questions, and thank you for interacting with each other. I like that, and I love to see more of it, because I go through and I read and I snicker to myself and I make my own little comments, and sometimes I make comments to your comments, so I give you a little heart. So know that I appreciate you being here. Don't forget to like my channel, like my videos, and that helps bump me up in the algorithms the more that people like it. So that's it. That's my take on Medicaid, Medicare, and my strategy for next year. Wow. What was that about? It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. Yeah, something like that. And playing bowling up in the... Remember all those little... Yeah, never mind. Okay, bye.